Hi, thank you, Miko. I have no idea what's going on here.
Good morning, ladies. Are you comfortable? Are you ready to start? I think that if anybody else drops in, they can just sort of drop in. We are recording, so we'll just go from there. I do ask that you mute your computers, but if you have a question, just raise your hand, okay? Because I'm watching all of you. And don't feel you can ask a question during what I discuss, or we can wait till the end and we can have an open discussion. But don't hold anything back. This is for you, okay? So I'm so happy to be here with you this morning. My name is Zaina Warren, and I'm the VP of Membership for TFRW. And I'm very honored to serve all of you because I've worked with so many of the clubs over the past 2 years. So it's been a great experience. And this morning, I'm basically going to talk to you about renewal, retention, and recruitment. I do have a fabulous handout that I do formally give at Nuts and Bolts. So after this session, if you want the whole printout, send me an email. I'll put my email address in the chat room so you can send me an email, and I'll be glad to send you that handout because it's like a 4-page handout. I'm just going to touch little basics on it this morning, the most important things. And if you're having any problems along the way of any of these topics, again, raise your hand. Let's talk about it. Okay. First and foremost, and I can see this by you doing this. Okay. You all have access to the TFRW website, and you have gone on there at least once or twice to get forms. You all know where to get those forms. Yes. Yes. Oh, I see Miss Acuna. You don't. Okay, you will have to go on the TFRW website. You log in with your user ID. If it's the first time you're doing it, okay, you follow the prompts. A password will be sent to you. You log on with that password, and then you can reset. All right? Just follow the prompts. Once you get onto the website, you're going to find all the forms that you need under the members section, and it's going to be general forms and documents. And all your membership forms will be found on the left-hand side of that particular screen. If Ms. Acuna, if you have trouble logging on, send me an email, okay? Send me an email and I'll go ahead and walk you through. All right. So first and foremost, and I'm thinking many of you are membership chairs. Some of you might be presidents, but you're concerned about your membership. The website is probably your best asset to get information for your membership forms. Okay, and we did create new forms this year to keep us on top of submissions. Submissions are not held. There is not a queue. Everything is pretty much processed the week we receive a submission. All right. And the only thing that holds it back sometimes is if you send your payment in by snail mail, the office is waiting for receipt of that check. But everything is processed in a timely manner. And I can honestly say, as of yesterday, there's nothing that hasn't been processed. Everything is up to date. All right. Last year, we had 10,126 members. Our goal this year is 11,000 members, and we need to reach that number by June 25th. June 25th is the magic date that we have to turn our numbers into NFRW for awards. All right. That does not stop you from continuing to build your members. I hope that you have all had the opportunity to look at the Convention 101 that Glenn has sent out recently. There is an August date that will determine your delegate strength. So please continue sending in your members. Do not think that you stop after June. We want to get as many members eligible to go to convention, and we want to reach that 11,000 number by June the 25th. So let's talk about renewal, because that's the phase many clubs are in right now. Renewing your current membership is probably your biggest challenge, okay? COVID really set a lot of clubs back last year. We had a lot of clubs that didn't submit members last year. My best advice to you is reach out to those members in your club that still have not renewed, okay? If they didn't renew in 2019, don't say they're not going to renew this year. They will renew if you contact them, only because in 2020 we had COVID. So reach out to those members and get them to renew. And renewal is a team effort. It's not just you. Yes, Susan, what did you need? Did you need some? Oh, no, okay. It's a team effort. Renewal is a team effort. It's just not membership doing it. You need to get your board active in it, doing it. You need to get every member in your organization active in renewing membership. Renewal and recruitment go hand in hand. But if you're a membership chair, I really, really, really want to emphasize, get a committee together, whether it be 1, 2, or 3 people. Get a committee together, reach out to those members. It might just be by phone call. And I'm going to tell you, phone calls work a whole lot better than sending out emails. If you can call the person one-on-one and talk to the person, let them know, hey, we miss you. We really need you. Come back to the organization. So do set those committees together. You can set it up as a nightly little meeting, your own little membership committee, meet together, have a couple glasses of wine, make a few phone calls. But in most cases, clubs can knock it out in one evening. Another way to reach out to your members that haven't renewed, you can always send out your application with a self-addressed stamped envelope. All right, a nice little letter from your president that just says, you know, we're trying to get our membership up. We miss you. We need you. Please consider joining or coming back. When you send a self-addressed stamped envelope, I'm just going to say it's a little guilt because now they really don't have a reason. All right, they have the application. All they have to do is fill out the application, submit a check. You've given them the means to drop it in the mail. So that's another great way that you can reach out to that. Of course, keep in mind that's a little more cost because now you're spending money on an envelope and sending the envelope. Use what's in the best means of your organization, okay? Continue keeping people in the, how can I put it? Keep them in the know of what your club is doing. You know, if you have a newsletter, don't just delete them from the newsletter list. You can let them know, hey, this might be your last newsletter you're getting, but we want you to know this is what we're doing. Use that newsletter. It's a great marketing tool. Great marketing tool. And it lets them know who you're having for your programs, what you're doing. Show those pictures, even on your Facebook page. Just put a, hey, shout out to those members that were missing, and use those marketing tools to reach those members. The final thing that I'm going to mention is this. Your club president has the ability to log on to the NFRW website and get a roster of your club members. And that roster includes those that have renewed and those that have not renewed. And that roster is a 5-year roster. So believe it or not, when your club president goes onto the NFRW website for that, she can see the members that have renewed for 2021, those that have not renewed in the years their membership expired from 2020 all the way down to 2016, depending on the age of your club. So as a membership chair, what I would encourage again, and I'm talking team effort, bring it to the attention of your club president. Maybe by pulling that roster, you're going to be able to see who has not renewed, who your past members were. New membership chairs sometimes don't even have an idea that a member that didn't renew in 2019 is not a new member when they rejoin. They already have an account with NFRW and TFRW. So again, all that information is available through NFRW, and our database is set up directly off of the NFRW database. If your club presidents sort of do this, I don't want to get into NFRW, email me. I'll be glad to run the roster for you. And I'll be glad to file and sort it for you so that you can see your active members and you can see those that have not renewed. The great thing about this is that when you submit your submission, that's directly downloaded into that database. If there's a typo, that typo is going to be in that database. So when we get back to forms, when you're filling out those forms, take your time, okay? It's not how fast you can do it. Be as accurate as possible. And the most important piece of information that you can put on that submission form is the email address. All right, that is the direct communication, the email address. Please do not, when you are submitting emails, put them all in capital letters. Some, email, it has to be an exact thing. Gmail, they're not case sensitive. If somebody has AT&T, if someone has, what's another one out there now, Spectrum, those are all case sensitive. So if you capitalize all those letters, you better ask your member when you're looking at that membership submission form, is this correct, all capital letters? All right, it's very, very important that those emails be correct. If the email has to be corrected, you need to contact the TFRW office by email with the member's name, their correct email, and the name of the club. And please do not use acronyms for your club. I'm going to give you a good example. SARW is a very common acronym. We have 161 clubs. We have San Antonio Republican Women, San Angelo Republican Women, and Salado Area Republican Women, all using the same acronym. So when the office gets an email and it just says SARW, now they are hunting to see which club it is. Please be proud of your club name. Okay, do start your membership at the, a lot of times what happens with membership, and this year was a good example, and we finally went by the October 31st last day submissions. Even though your bylaws say that membership starts January 1 of the year, there are a couple important things that you need to take into consideration. First and foremost, our fiscal year actually ends October 31st. We cannot submit new members. We cannot submit renewing members November or December to NFRW. They become members for the following year. And so as a result, October 31st ends the fiscal year for membership. November 1 starts the new year. This can be really advantageous to your club. Number one, you're not holding everything until January of the following year to submit. Number two, you still have a transitionary period between officers. Hopefully, your previous membership officer would be on hand to help you with these initial first submissions. This is the transition period where clubs should be working together. When clubs wait until January to start submitting, they sort of are behind the 8 ball, because remember, March 1, that's when membership becomes delinquent. So if you start in January, you initially only have 2 months, since March 1 is the delinquent date. So I encourage you to make a notation. October 31st ends the fiscal year. November 1 starts the next year. All right. So we're talking about renewal, and I've given you some great examples about renewal. Use your own methods, but again, try to renew those members that haven't renewed. And as I said, COVID really put us back a little bit, because members just said we're not meeting. They didn't know. There was a lot of miscommunication, confusion. Where do we go from here? But use that. There are a lot of members out there that still have not renewed, and they may not even think, that, hey, nobody's contacted me. I don't know if we're meeting. Have I renewed? Again, reach out to them, but put your team together. Retention. Once you got that team together, you've reached your 100%. Yay. We have quite a few clubs that have already gone 100% plus. Awesome. Awesome. You still work as a team, retaining that membership. All right. You always need to plan ahead so that you're going to try to keep the same number of members plus. So say last year you had 60 members and you were a medium club. One more member would move you into the next category as a large club. 61 plus puts you into a large category. Try to always go one ahead. Notice I'm saying one ahead. But if you reach out to your members and put incentive out there for your members to bring one member, you could double your membership. All right. The big thing in retention is this. Number one, keep your members active. So you've grown your membership, you've got the numbers there. Don't just say we've got this meeting. Reach out to all those members and keep them active. Give them something to do. Number two, make sure they all have the tools available to learn what they need to learn to be a good Republican. Number one, make sure they can log on to the website. Show them the access. Have someone even be a mentor in your club to help people logging on to the TFRW website. Number two, log on to the NFRW website. They have great programs. They have great training, campaign training. They have great speakers that are member access only. Make sure your members know what's available out there for them. And number three, make sure your VP of programs gets stellar speakers. Use the program guide available through TFRW. If you cannot find good speakers, I sort of try to shun away from clubs that say, we're going to have Mr. Jones come and talk to us about branding cattle. Okay. Hey, this might be a great topic for your VP of membership. All right. I think this is wonderful. You know, what are the ins and outs of this? What is the law on this? But ladies, does this, will this be attractive to your members? What is good for one may not be good for all. So when your VP of programs is out there trying to put together the program for the year, if you're sitting on that executive board, put in your 2 cents. Put in your 2 cents. Try to get stellar speakers that are going to appeal to all your members. If you set that up, you will retain those members from month to month. Okay? And the big thing in retention too is this: make sure that all your members are in line with maintaining the objectives of your club. So do not be afraid to reinforce those objectives at every club meeting or in your newsletter or on your website. But the number one objective that you should be promoting is an informed public through political education and activity. All right, that's our number one. The number two is to increase the effectiveness of women in the cause of good government. Okay. The number 3 and 4 have to do with fostering the Republican Party and supporting our candidates. But number 1 and number 2 are the most important. We want to train women. Don't forget, we're building an army. We're building an army. We want these ladies ready to talk about our objectives. So all that comes into retention. And sometimes you have to continually reinforce that just to get everyone on the same page. All right. It also prevents you from becoming a social club. Because let's face it, it's great to get together with like-minded people. However, we want to maintain that we are proactive. We're not just meeting once a month to have tea. And sometimes we're stigmatized because we're the ladies meeting. All right. Retention, very, very important. Again, if you will maintain those 3 things, you will be able to retain your membership. Okay, recruitment comes down to benefits. And I don't have to tell you what the benefits of joining a Republican Women's Club are. Okay, first and foremost, you become involved in the election process. And that should be one of your number 1 sellers. You know, once you're educated, you're involved in this election process, you're going to see people coming to you for your opinion on what's happening. All right. You're going to have people coming to you and saying to you, what do you think about such and such a person running for this office? Okay. You have the great opportunity to meet and discuss anything with your local leaders as well as your state leaders. And whether you realize it or not, when you're an established club, those Republican leaders are looking at your club from both the local and state level. They see everything that your club does, everything from the hours reported, every community activity, anything that you might be out there publicizing, you are being watched. So take advantage of that. When you're out there meeting these women, recruit them. Don't be afraid to speak to them. Okay. Your participation in community activities is another great thing out there. Your Caring for America projects. All these things are tools for recruitment. If you want to have a fundraiser, think of it as a fundraiser, attracting people, okay? But again, always promote your organization. Always reach out on behalf of your organization. And think outside of the box for locations. You know, there's the average one, the gun show, you know, Chamber of Commerce events. A lot of clubs belong to Chamber of Commerce's, okay? Have you ever thought about a PTA event? Okay, yeah. Your PTA might allow you to come in and speak. And you don't have to speak as a Republican. You can speak on conservative values. You'd be surprised. Try other organizations out there. I reached out to a local Hispanic LULAC organization in my county. They let us in with open arms. So don't be stigmatized or say, oh, this won't work, or these people aren't going to let us come in. You know, be active out there. Don't try something. If they don't want you, they're going to tell you point blank. Then just move on. So finally, I'm expecting all of you to grow your club. That should be your number one objective. And it's sort of, you know, you get into the cycle, and we're halfway through the cycle now, and we're still out there growing the club. Attract those like-minded women, send out invitations, and just keep in touch. The biggest thing you need to be able to say to women is, we need you. We need you. Not, I want you. You know, we need you. And people like to be spoken to one-on-one. They really do. Whether it's helping within the organization, recruiting a volunteer, anything like that. When you say something to someone that we need you, I guarantee you that person is going to come on board. I can't tell you enough how many times I've heard members say, I'd love to do it, but nobody asked me. So take advantage of that. I know that a lot of clubs, even club presidents, like to just sit and say, okay, please volunteer, or I'm sending around a volunteer form, sign up for this, or, you know, we need you for this. Ask one-on-one. Ask one-on-one. I'm going to leave you with just this thought. And this is the biggest thing when people say, why are you active with TFRW? Or why are you active with this Republican women's group? In 2020, Republican women in the state of Texas were responsible for keeping our state red. And I'm going to say that again. Without Republican women, we would have had a lot of obstacles. Maybe we would have lost our state, but we kept it red. Why? Because we had enough forethought to start early in the game. Don't forget that we had the 10K for 10R project. We had the Texas Victory Committee out there voting down the ballot. Don't forget all the other things about sending out to Georgia. All the interaction that we had with people, all right? Keeping our state red. Overall, 318,669 new Republicans were added to the voting rolls. Okay, that constituted 1/2 of President Trump's statewide margin and 1/3 of Senator Cornyn's statewide margin. We took the election seriously. We planned well in advance. And as a result, we had a huge turnout for Texas. As Republican women, this is what we do. We took care of home. We might not like what happened outside, but we took care of home. 2022 is going to be a real challenge. 34 of the 100 Senate seats will be up for election. We have the governor's race coming up. We are going to continue to be a target. And if you don't see it now, don't be disillusioned. We are going to continue to be a target. When President Chester says the nation is watching us, ladies, the nation is watching us. We have to take back the Senate. We have to take back the Congress in 2022, but we still need to maintain our great state. So when someone asks you why you belong to TFRW or why you belong to your local club, you need to say with good conscience, I'm here to keep my state red. This is why I joined. The nation watches. We can move outside our box. So with that, I'm opening it up for any questions, any concerns, any problems that you all have, and you can unmute yourself. Anything that you'd like. I'll just leave it with this. And in the chat room, I'm going to put my email address for all of you. I'm always here for you. I've talked to some of you already, but I'm always here for you. And if you have any little question, whether it's a membership thing, you don't know who to go to for, say, bylaws, anything like that, feel free to give me a call. I'll point you in the right direction. I do request that you do utilize your district directors and your deputy presidents. They are your direct link. And if you feel like you're, not getting the information that you need, give me a call. I'll be glad to speak with you or point you in the right direction. Okay. And so right now, before I forget, all right, I'm just going to put in here. Okay. And my phone number is 254-702-6034. Okay. Thought I put it to Pat Blair, but I think, can you all read that? Yes?
I can't. Nothing comes up.
All right.
I didn't get it.
Let me change this to select all.
So your full name is Zenia Warren?
Dana Warren, yes.
Okay, thank you. Good to meet you.
Great meeting all of you.
Zaina, I have a question.
Yes.
Do any clubs send out statements for renewals? And how does that work? I mean, is anybody getting benefit from that?
What some clubs do is this. They will go ahead. Did you all get that now, my email address?
Yes, it was too fast though. It disappeared quickly. I didn't get a chance to write it down.
It should still be out there in your chat room. I don't
have a chat room.
At the bottom, you don't have a little square that
no, all I got is little dots at the bottom. I don't have a chat room.
Okay.
I'm on a cell phone.
All
right. Let me just I'll be right with you. Cassie, you asked that, right?
No, I asked about the statements. Yes.
Okay. All right. First of all, my email is Z as in zebra, A, B as in boy, O as in ocean, B as in boy, at embark, EMBARQMAIL.com. And my phone number is 254-702-6034.
Okay, got it.
All right, getting back to some clubs, what they do is they go ahead and they send in the membership for their members every year. And then they send them out a statement that their membership has been sent out, and it's sort of like an invoice for them to pay. Larger clubs can afford to do that. But my thing is this, if it's not agreed by in your standing rules, because that would be an administrative procedure. So if it's not in your standing rules, what happens to the member that says, I don't want to renew this year and you renewed me? Okay. So you could send out an invoice, you know, like a billing statement saying that your membership is now past due. And again, you would get into that thing where you would send out the self-addressed stamped envelope. You could do that. I find it, if you're going to do that, I find it more congenial, sending a nice letter from the president saying, you know, we're reviewing our membership files and you still have not renewed. You know, please consider renewing for this year. We really need you. And then send a nice letter with a self-addressed stamped envelope and the application. Sometimes when you send an invoice, people are like, wow, they sent me a bill, you know? And so it's all, again, on the diversity of your club.
Right.
You know, and you need to take that into consideration. Some clubs would be, like a millennial club, might be on board with it. You know, and I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of them have moved right to the little scan on the phone where they just do their little queue and they automatically renew their membership. You know, every club has different means. Some clubs still don't take credit cards or debit cards. You know, again, it goes down to the diversity of the club, and it goes down to the size of the club, because a lot of those things are costly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So, you know, there's different ways of getting around it, but I have seen clubs, they just pay the membership every year, and then they send a billing statement right there, you know. So, oh, and TFRW has finally received partnership status with RPT. Hallelujah. So that means we are official partners of the Republican Party of Texas.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
Awesome. Okay.
It's wonderful.
I know. All right. Any other questions?
I have a question. You mentioned the program guide was located on a website. I didn't catch which website. Was it?
It's on the no, it's on the TFRW website.
Okay. Do you know
and if go to the member sections, and then you go to programs.
Okay.
There's
perfect.
a program guide. There's suggested speakers in that program guide. NFRW also has one on the NFRW website, and it's set up the same way as the speakers. I think ours on TFRW is called Speakers Bureau, but on NFRW, if you try to get some of those speakers on NFRW, I will tell you that there is a cost involved. So again, you might want a speaker for a fundraiser though, where you're willing to pay the cost. Again, it's what you're looking for in your club. But on the TFRW website, yes, there's the Speakers Bureau. And again, utilize your district director and your deputy president. They can always give you good ideas of speakers that have been at other clubs in your Senate district. Okay, so utilize them. That's what they're there for. And they can say, and you know, I mean, if you don't have someone planned or last minute fill in, always reach out to your TFRW officers. You know, we all come to clubs too. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I have a question. Yes, hi. I am brand new, so this may be the silliest question ever, so bear with me. But, you know, we're recruiting all the time. Let's say that I have someone that joins in May, and so we're very excited about that, etc. Well, then the year ends, what I'm understanding is October 31st. So am I going to be asking them to pay another admission fee or another for them to join again for
yeah,
even though it was that close together? So do you say yes?
Yes. Okay. And this is what some clubs do. All right. If you get into half of the year, they might reduce their membership fee. Okay, say your membership fee is $30, so 25 goes to TFRW. You might just cut your membership fee after, say, June the 31st to $25, period, where your club doesn't make anything on that particular member. And then that member would fall into the next, you know, that would be something you would need to discuss with your executive board. And that's why we don't recommend putting an exact dollar amount of membership dues in your bylaws. Those can go in your standing rules, and standing rules can always be changed. Okay. Some clubs put them in their standing rules where they say from, you know, January 1, because they always put the January 1 through June 31st, the dues are, say, $30. And then from July through, they'll say December 31st, but it's actually, you know, October 31st, $25. So yeah, you could do that in your standing rules. And those would only have, you know, those would have to be approved at the executive level membership, but it's not anything major in your regular bylaws. And anything in standing rules, by the way, is administrative rules. So your dollar amounts, anything like that, those are administrative rules. You know, who's the keeper of your, now I'm having one of those brain things, your mallet for your meeting, you know, who's the keeper of that? That would be in your standing rules, you know, things like that. Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Danielle?
Go ahead.
Hi, this is Benita from the Valverde County Republican Women.
Hi, Benita.
Hi, I'm new at this too. I really am. I was baptized by fire, but but I'm enjoying every minute. What we do in our organization, we prorate that member.
Right.
So we only take the certain amount for that year and then just charge her for the new year. So this way it won't be like a double decker for her.
Right. And that's so pretty much what we talked about. Yeah.
Yes, that works really well. Okay.
Most clubs do that. If there's nothing wrong with doing that, prorating it.
Yeah, I think it works out really well.
Yeah. And you know what? You can sell it too, because the club thinks, or the member, she's getting like 2 for 1. Say for example, you tell her that you prorate that membership 1 year, and then the next year you'll say, well, you're going to fall into this category next year. They're thinking, oh, I'm getting double duty, double duty here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
you know,
exactly.
Yeah. But I wouldn't, when you get closer to the end of October, I
Mm-hmm.
really, at that point right there, recruiting, you're telling the member point blank, and this is a good way to prorate too. Say that they join in September or October.
Mm-hmm.
Take their membership fee for the following year, but allow them your club membership for those 2 months. So you can say to them point blank, I'm giving you 2 months free. You're paying for 2022 membership.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Amber had to jump off. Bye, Amber. Okay, anybody else? All right, you have my name, you have my number, you have my email. If you would like a copy of this nuts and bolts that I have, it goes into a little more detail. I only hit highlights on it today. Send me an email and I'll be glad to send it to you. All right. It's been great talking to you. I just want to assure you, a lot of you feel, okay, I've been baptized by fire. I'm going to talk to you about membership on my level. When I first started with my club 15 years ago, 15 years ago, I sort of got pushed in from Americanism right into membership. And the thing about membership is you don't really get comfortable in it until like the second year, and then hope you might be reelected again into it. So do lean on your presidents, do lean on your other officers, and do not feel like you're in it alone. And if your board makes you feel like you're in it alone, again, stress, everything needs to be a team effort, okay? Every member in your club is part of membership. Every member should take an active role in recruiting, renewing, the whole 9 yards. So reach out to your members. 2 things, appreciate them for everything that they do, because everyone needs to be appreciated. But call on those members to become active in doing something and give them something to do. Because if you don't give them something to do, they will be turned off. It'll be harder for you to retain them. All right. And so whether you have subcommittees, you know, you're on the executive board, you gotta give women things to do to keep them active. And with that, I'm gonna stop recording. And if you need anything from me, please do call me. God bless all of you. It's been great seeing you, and happy Easter. Y'all take care.
Happy Easter.
Bye-bye.
Bye.